moved to Capitol Hill in Seattle a year ago, and I have a lot of thoughts about my decision. Do I recommend living in Cap Hill? Let's talk about it. And for context, I live right in the heart of the crazy part of Cap Hill. I don't live in the outskirts, which would probably be a different experience. I'm going to talk about my life here in Cap Hill through 5 categories: affordability, convenience, things to do, safety, and overall experience. All right, affordability, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. Seattle's expensive. I do think that Cap Hill is a little more affordable than some other neighborhoods, actually. I think it's much more affordable than South Lake Union, parts of downtown. Because even like Fremont, Ballard, West Seattle, they're getting kind of expensive too. I think because Cap Hill is associated with nightlife, being loud, it's a higher homeless population, I think that almost does like drive the cost down a little bit. It's pretty normal for a 1-bedroom apartment in Seattle to be way over $2,000, and I pay just under $2K a month for rent. I do pay a lot for my parking garage, but that is so worth it. Beyond that though, groceries and other living expenses I'd say are pretty similar to just general life in Seattle. It's an expensive city. Now for convenience, Cap Hill gets a 4 out of 5. And that's really because I have a parking spot in a garage. If I had to rely on street parking, convenience would probably go down to a 2. Cap Hill on its own is very convenient. You're super close to a lot of different neighborhoods. There's a lot of grocery stores. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a link station, so I find that I don't even need to drive to a lot of places. I kind of wish we had something like a city Target, but I could always just walk downtown for that. Things to do, 5 out of 5. Cap Hill has so much. Amazing shopping, great gyms, yoga studios, coffee shops, bars, restaurants, close to other neighborhoods. There's Cal Anderson, there's Volunteer Park. There's so much going on around Cap Hill all the time. I'd say that's the reason to live in Cap Hill. You just have so much at your fingertips. Safety. I'm gonna say 3 out of 5. I've had some not so great experiences. One time a guy who I think was very under the influence threw a very big heavy object at my leg because I was in his way. A guy on a Lime bike thought it was okay to touch me inappropriately. Yeah, I've had a few incidents here. I would definitely recommend carrying pepper spray or some sort of self-defense in Cap Hill. Besides that, it's been fine. For my overall experience, I'm gonna say 3.5 out of 5. I think the amount of things to do in Cap Hill and the proximity to other neighborhoods makes it a really great place to live. But the busyness, and I hate to say it, the homeless population does bring the experience down a bit. I am very, very lucky that my apartment doesn't face the street, so I never hear anything on the weekends. But because parking is so bad in Cap Hill, I feel bad inviting people over, and I don't always find it the safest or the cleanest neighborhood in the world. Definitely been some upsides and downsides to living here, but I would say overall it's been positive. Now, do I recommend living in Cap Hill? If you really enjoy city life, or if you want to try living in the city, I say go for it. Like, especially if you're in your 20s. It is a younger neighborhood since Seattle University. I think it's a great neighborhood to live for a year or two. If you like somewhere clean and quiet, look elsewhere.